Hello, friends. I did do a few things off camera, but there's just too many companion conversations that happen in this town that I don't want to be missed. So you're probably gonna have to watch me do a lot of basic stuff. Probably.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Or we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
So yeah, there's actually a lot of small spots around Lothering that will trigger a conversation only once, and that was one of them. And just in walking around, I found that I didn't want the camera to miss any of those conversations because
As you say,
those are one of the things that I love about the game. There's a lot of them, a lot more than you might think, a lot more than I've ever actually heard in game, although I've tried. Like, there's been times when I've gone over the trigger points over and over again just to try to hear as much conversation as possible, and I still miss so much. And I still have heard, in playing this game over again, have heard new conversations that I missed before.
How dare you accuse me of thievery? I saw you take the supplies.
Alright, so this is about the Chastened, so let's read a lore entry about them. The Chastened Wilders have lived in the Kokari Wilds since the first wars with the Alamari drove them southward a millennia ago. According to their own lore, they had always been a forest-dwelling people that adapted quickly to their new home. Game and fish are plentiful in the wetlands, and the Chastened thrived. For a time, they and the hill-dwelling Avars were true threats to the northern lowlands. The Tevinter Imperium had arrived and was hard-pressed to keep back the waves of invasions from the south and the west. The fortress of Ostagar was built specifically to watch for chastened hordes venturing north of the tree line. It was not until the legendary warrior Hafter soundly defeated the Chastened in the first half of the Divine Age that the question of their ability to contest the lowlands was settled permanently. Today the Chastened are considered largely peaceful, though their ways are still primitive compared to our own. In the Kokari Wilds, they live in strange-looking huts built on stilts or even built into great treetops. They paint their faces and are split into small tribes, ruled by shamans like those amongst the Avars. There are many tales of these shamans having learned their magic from the witches of the wilds, witches that inspire as much terror as they do awe and gratitude, even if there is no definitive proof they exist. In particular, the tale of Flemeth, the greatest witch of the wilds, is celebrated amongst all tribes. While there is no way to know how many there are in the wilds today, few travelers that pass through the forest tell of Chastened eking out an existence even in the frozen wastelands of the far south. One can assume that should the Chastened ever organize themselves once more, we might have reason to fear them here in Ferelden. We ignore them at our peril. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Okay, Sister Patrine.
From my car.
Right,
Your
so
grassland eyes are inept. A chastened would never stoop to petty theft. You marsh folk are all thieves and liars. Enough! People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows. But what about my food? I said enough!
yeah, that's the end of that conversation. Now here is another friend. And one of my favorite characters also. I like a lot of characters in this game, what can I say? I think I like most all of them.
You aren't one of my captors. I will not amuse you any more than I have the other humans. Leave me in peace.
You're a prisoner. Who put you here?
I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
It is as she says. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
I am Isobel. Pleased to meet you.
You mock me. Or you show manners I have not come to expect in your lands. Though it matters little now, I will die soon enough.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
I find myself in need of skilled help.
No doubt. What help do you seek?
I'm sworn to defend the land against the Blight.
The Blight? Are you a Grey Warden, then?
Yes, I am.
Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill. Though I suppose not every legend is true.
Would the revered mother let you free?
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance, it seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
I'll leave you for now.
Farewell, then.
To be left here to starve? Or to be taken by the Darkspawn? No one deserves that. Not even a murderer.
Yeah, this is one of the areas that Morrigan surprises me, because why should she think of the mercy that should be applied to this man and not think, just like so many others, that, well, he sealed his own fate. It's his own fault that he's in there. I don't know what specifically is about him. He is a Kunari, by the way. I don't think that's been mentioned in the dialogue, but that means he's a different species than the rest of us. He's not a human. He's a Kunari. Most Kunari have horns. He does not have horns. It's a rare Kunari that is born without the horns. Within the lore, supposedly, most of them have horns. When someone is born without the horns, then they consider that he's destined for great things. But let's go ahead and cross this bridge and hear another conversation.
So tell me something, Morrigan. Did you live there in that forest your entire life?
I left it on occasion, but I always returned. Why? Is that so strange? It was my home.
But it was just you and your mother there? No one else?
Mother occasionally had company.
What? Company? Do I even want to ask?
No, you really don't.
Yeah, see, conversations like that are why I feel sorry for Morrigan. She clearly, I mean, I would call her upbringing abusive. Anyway, let's see this next thing that I can help with.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
Why would I want to help you?
Didn't I mention profit?
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his pockets.
There's been so many of these men lately. Heartless opportunists, all.
'Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they flee for their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
You don't think you're being unscrupulous?
Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon them as surely as the bandits outside the city.
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving.
Time for the persuade skill. I think you can compromise and still make a profit, no?
Perhaps. If that woman agrees I'm allowed to charge something.
Do what you must, so long as the prices do not beggar the needy.
Fine, fine, done. And since you don't look too needy, normal prices for you.
A fine compromise.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the Darkspawn will be impressed.
Thank you for your generous assistance. May the Maker watch over your path.
Morrigan, you just don't understand networking, woman.
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something.
I am indeed. Let's see what you have.
All right. Just don't buy everything
Morgan doesn't understand networking. She doesn't understand the value of good PR. I'm working with nothing here, Morgan. Everything I can get, including good PR, is helpful. That's not much better than what I got. Ooh, I can use that. Yeah, we're going to use some stuff here. So yeah, she seems a little bit contradictory in her ideas, but I don't find that like bad writing. I actually think humans are self-contradictory. She probably feels for Sten because Sten is an outsider. Being a Kunari, he's the only one here and no one understands him, and that probably speaks to Morrigan and why she feels more sympathy for him than she does for these other people who she's seen humans and how they act, and she doesn't have a tendency to trust them. All right, well, we're going to go into there's going to be another little thing for me to fix over here. Morgan's not going to like it probably, but she did lose some, because I helped those people, I did lose some trust with her. So yeah, we're still okay, but yeah, I lost a little trust. I'll have to give her a gift later. Anyway, another thing to fix over here.
The legions of evil are on your doorstep. They will feast upon our hearts. There is nowhere to run. This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts.
Please, you're scaring the children.
Better to slit their throats now than let them suffer at Darkspawn hands. There! One of their minions is already amongst us! This woman bears their evil stench! Can you not see the vile blackness that fills her?
Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people! I will not be silent!
Please stop! Somebody shut his mouth!
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us!
You poor man. What happened to you?
My family, my clan, those creatures butchered them all. Some of us fled here, but we cannot escape the Darkspawn!
It must have been horrible. How did you escape?
I ran, hearing my wife screams as they dragged her off. She had hair the same color as yours.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Why am I here? I should not have come.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
Time to use persuade skill again. There's always hope. Muster your courage.
You're right. We can't give up.
But we can't fight. What are we supposed to do?
We can't lie down and die either. We must go north to dinner him.
That's exactly what you should do. Now spread that around to everybody in the village so nobody has to die.
Evil shall descend upon us!
Alright, time to go into the chantry and see about freeing Sten. Good old Sten. Good old trusty Sten. Actually, there's a few other, like, every step of the way in Lothering, there's some people for me to talk to and try to fix stuff with, so...
There's word of Darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde. We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
To be fair, though, Lothering is kind of a nexus of people fleeing from the Darkspawn and just about itself to be absolutely destroyed, so I guess it makes sense there's a lot of people who need help around here.
Yes, my lady? Who might you be?
You can call me Isobel.
I am Sir Bryant, commander of Lothering's remaining Templars. You don't seem like the other refugees. Are you one of Arl Eamon's knights?
I'm a Grey Warden, actually.
I see. Tern Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
The Grey Wardens did no such thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tern claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
Are you in charge here?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek out unsanctioned magic. For now, it is all we can do to protect the innocent.
I'm not going to point out that I'm a mage to the guy. Come on, dialogue. Okay, are you the only protection this village has?
Our ban was summoned by Tairn Logain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
Where would I find the Reverend Mother?
In her study, no doubt, preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate.
Alright, you know, just out of curiosity... No, it doesn't have me the dialogue option anymore. How do Templars fight against magic?
We have more than swords at our disposal. We're taught to dispel unholy magics as well. If only our powers work to keep away the Darkspawn. Alas, it is not so.
Alright, tell me about something else. I
If
got
the
another
matter is
question.
important, certainly.
Have you heard any recent news?
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tairn Logain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
King Kalen had no heir?
None that we know of. Tairn Logain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero, and his daughter may be queen, but he is a common, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
What's wrong with Arl Eamon?
Arl Eamon has fallen ill, and his knights are on a quest for the sacred urn filled with Andraste's ashes, said to cure any malady. He must be very ill if they chase miracles as the only cure. One of the Arl's knights, Sir Donnell, is here searching for fantasies while... Never mind. Ask him if you care about this foolishness.
Things seem very dire in the village.
They are. With the ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I am needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
I need some information.
If the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any other news?
I suppose since you
I want
are
to tell
a
him about the
mage,
bandits.
you know
That's why
something
I
that
keep
might
on going.
interest you.
If I tell him about
Don't look
the
surprised.
bandits...
I would be a poor Templar if I couldn't tell that much. I have heard word that the Templars who watch over the Circle of Magi's tower have called for the
He
right
figured
of
out I was a
annulment.
mage, okay.
Hopefully I've heard wrong.
But that means...
If the right of annulment is invoked, the tower and every living soul within will be destroyed.
We need the Circle's help. We should go and find out what's happening.
Oh, you better believe we're
have
going
such
to.
a call when mages are needed to fight the Darkspawn. Something terrible must have happened. I have nothing else to tell you. The only news I care about is the approaching horde.
What can you tell me about the imprisoned Kunari?
I was there at the farmhold. The beast stood there, wet with the blood of the children. He didn't even deny slaughtering them. The revered mother ordered him caged. She has more mercy than I do. But perhaps she is right, and the Maker has love for all his creations, even the Kunari.
Of course the Maker loves the Kunari. Is there a way he could be released?
You can ask the revered mother. I say let him rot until the Darkspawn claim him.
I don't have an option to tell him about the bandits. He'll pay me for the bandits if I can tell him. I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you. Greetings, Grey Warden. What can I do for you?
About those bandits outside the village. This is what I was waiting for.
Maker's breath. How many times must we drive them off?
They won't bother you again. I killed them.
All of them? By yourself?
It's true. I saw it from my post. It was over so fast, we didn't even have time to get over there.
Sad that it needed to come to that. But then they asked for it. Will you accept a small reward for your service?
You're darn right I will. Certainly, thank you.
If it interests you, there is a Chanters board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Is there any other help you can offer?
I cannot openly help you, I fear, but... Here, take this key. It opens the large cabinet on the far wall. There is more there than we can carry when we evacuate, so take what you need.
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. Okay.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Okay, so among that dialogue, one of the things was a mention of the Urn of Sacred Ashes, which means we're going to have a Holy Grail quest in the middle of this game. But that's for next time. I've really gone over my time, so see y'all later.